So great to have the opportunity to speak to you both. How are you both doing? Graham, want to start?
Well, I'm healing up. I had a bad injury on my leg, and I was in the hospital for 3 months. But
Oh, I am so sorry
they
to
took
hear
a
that.
graft, and they took a graft off my thigh and put it on my shin, and I was flat on my back for 4 months. I told
Wow.
Aaron; he knows about it. So
Wow. So you're okay
yeah,
now? Everything good though?
I'm gimping around.
Well, I'm glad that you made it to the interview today. And Aaron, how have you been holding up during this crazy time in our lives?
Different types of things. Graham and I have actually been talking about both of our his different things going on in the last 6 months, and then living in Los Angeles during this is a
Yeah.
different. It doesn't hurt your knee, it hurts your soul.
Yeah.
Get out
Uh,
of there.
so
Yeah.
yeah, and he's like, get back to Canada, get
Yeah.
out of Los Angeles. But
Absolutely.
but I'm really pumped that we're getting to put out the film now. We're going to put out Tar right now
Yeah.
because it's kind of against all odds. It's been crazy to get a movie out during a pandemic and during the shutdown and everything, and we're doing it.
Yeah.
So it's a real exciting. I'm very grateful. I'm very just pumped that we're getting to do it. Have been and always will be excited that Graham was a part of the project because
Yeah.
watched all his movies as a kid, and then now we become
I
good
beg your
friends.
pardon.
What are you talking about? Graham's only like 30 years old. I mean, come on. I don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
U.S.
US, right? Okay, so let's get started. Aaron, tell me a little bit about how this all came about, because you haven't really dabbled in this genre before, but this to me was like a throwback to the old kind of horror, Halloween-y kind of film. So how did this all come about for you?
Me?
That's exactly how it came about. I really wanted to make a film that was fun, that wasn't too gory or disgusting or took itself too seriously,
Yeah.
that were the types of movies that I loved as a kid. And from Arachnophobia to watching DVDs of Jaws to all those movies that were just fun.
Yeah.
And I wanted to also the La Brea Tar Pits is this weird, amazing, crazy place that I'd go to as a kid on field trips. And I was thinking, I want to bring some characters that I'd come up with into this world based on this true legend, Native American legend about the tar pits, and bring the tar pits to life in film, which we'd never seen before.
For sure, for sure. Now, Graham, I got to ask you, I mean, how do you connect with this young man? And what was it about the script that you thought, gosh darn it, I am going to be in this movie?
I'm an actor. I'm a working actor. I got 140, 150 films out there, and
At least.
this was really weird. And I thought, I got to do this.
And was there something that you connected with this guy, Carl? Like with the I mean, it was so great to see you not only in this film but in this genre. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, also it was between the hotel I was staying at and the ACTRA or the SAG office. So.
Oh, I see.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
I read the script. I worked with Andrew Keppel, who was producing it, in a film in Alaska,
Yeah.
where I got my head bit off by a bear. It was great. So I said, this is sick. This is even sicker. Tars, I got to do this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad to see that you reattached your head. And Aaron, I gotta, for you to work with somebody like, come on, Graham Greene, give me a break. Like he's our Canadian icon legend. Seriously.
Yes, I know. And as a Canadian myself, there was never a second. There was never like, oh, if Graham doesn't do this film, here's option number 2.
Yeah.
It was like, Canadian. I love all of the work Graham does, and he's got to play this part. Like, not knowing, I've never met him until then. Now we become good friends, but I'd never met him before. So I was just like, it has to work. And every time I get to work with people that I watched and loved as a kid, I just think, great. Not only do I get to work with someone whose work I love, I get to learn from them.
Absolutely.
And Graham and I, in rehearsing and working together and doing scenes together, I learned a ton from him. And he also came up with some real good zingers in the film that were not in the script.
Yeah, I was going to ask that because Graham, I want to know how much you get the script and, you know, and you're happy with it and everything, but how much collaboration is there? Like, how much did you add to it? Like, did you feel Aaron gave you a lot of freedom to just do what you want, you know, go with it and take your ideas?
A lot of freedom. Yeah, I had a lot of freedom. There was a lot of ideas that happened while we were reading a script,
Hmm.
and we get on the space and start thinking about things, and they just pop out. And he started doing it, so I was glad to see that. I was very
And
glad to see that.
and how impressed were you with his ability to direct and write and star and everything? I mean, he did a pretty good job, wouldn't you say?
He did a very good job, I must say. I had the freedom to do what I wanted to do. He didn't hold anybody back. I mean, it was just like, okay, here's where we're shooting. We're doing this right now. Action.
Yeah.
Let us go. Cut. I'd like to do it again because there was something in the background, or I'd turn to him and say, I want to do that again because I got an idea.
Yeah.
So back and forth.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's so great. And Aaron, I want to know for you, you know, what was a major challenge? Because, you know, looking back at this, you took over a year to shoot it. You started quite a while, like what, 4 or 5 years ago with this whole thing. So there
The
had to
whole
have been,
idea, yeah, came up.
yeah,
It was an idea that took time to develop, and as in the independent film world, it takes time to do it, to get the funding and all that. But we had to move some locations at different points. But what was really great, it was all a challenge. I look at filmmaking as, it could be renamed problem
mhm,
solving, because it's just a series of problems that we have to fix. What was great with Graham and the stuff we did is, I did the Groundlings, which is an improv
yeah,
thing,
mhm,
group out in LA a while ago, and whenever he would spit something at me that he'd say, "Wait, let's do this again. I want to try something." I'd be like, "All right, time to just react and let's see what he gives me," and I'll just react back. And so that's how in this process we did it. So with Graham, it was actually like, he made it easy. He made my work easy.
yeah,
With a lot of the other things like the practical effects, and because we went with a lot of practical effects because I like doing it that way versus digital as much as possible. Some of that was a challenge,
for sure. Yeah,
to get the different pieces to work, and some didn't work, and then we'd have to do them again or try new ways, because it just, you only have a certain budget and a number of effects and people to pull them off. It's not like we had a 40-person stunt crew. So
wow, yeah.
we did not. We did not have a,
No,
so
exactly.
yeah, so that was one of the big challenges, and just making sure everyone was as gracious and awesome as Graham, because some
Yeah, and
people
Well,
can't be Dr. Green.
you were too. You were too. Now it's Lord Green. I own property in Scotland, so I'm Lord.
oh, very
Oh
good
yes,
to know
Lord
that.
Green.
Lord Green, I like that. Graham, for
One of my
you, do
one
you
of my
like, oh, sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
one of my favorite times was we're sitting in front of the La Brea tar pits, and the traffic's buzzing by, and this tour bus stops, and the guy's sitting there, and he goes, "And here's a prime example of movie making in Los Angeles. You're watching a movie being made right now. Everybody's going, get out of here! Go on, move! Shut up!"
That's what they didn't go like Oscar nominee down there. They didn't say, you know, point you out or anything.
No, they didn't know where to go. I looked like a bum. I was sitting on the street.
Like a homeless
Yeah,
guy. Yeah.
we cracked up from that, because it's like the Star Tours is what it's called, that one, I
Yes.
think. And it was
Yeah.
like, they're all like, and they're kind of waving like, "Oh, cool, a movie." And then he just keeps on going with whatever spiel about, and over here is where Marilyn Monroe used to live. It was like, why not stop, and they could have stopped and watched us film. But
Absolutely. Part of the game, part of the tour. It would have been fun, I think. Yeah.
yeah, so that was a good one.
Graham, you know, I was telling Aaron just before you dropped in that, you know, I've been interviewing you for so many years. I know that we both are 30 and we both look like that and everything, but it's been a long
Yes.
time. And I think one of the very first times was for Dances with Wolves in
Yes.
Washington on that junket. And I was telling Aaron the story about how when Kevin Costner was showing the film to, it was in a huge premiere, government officials, like it was a big deal.
Big deal.
And the wrong reel went in. Do you remember that?
I remember the film starting, and it was about 2 or 3 minutes into it, and the bulb in the projector blew out,
Right.
and they put the wrong reel on. Oh man, what a mess that was.
It was, and Kevin Costner gets up. I remember watching him, like, I'll never forget the image. And he's like stomping up to the booth. And
No, he didn't go to the booth. He was out in the lobby because I went out there. And
oh, okay. I thought it was the booth. Well, we saw him leave. So give us the scoop. What was he saying? Well, he must have been freaking out.
Over a potted plant. I said, hey, it's okay, man. They'll put a new bulb in. We'll start over again.
Yeah.
Everybody will see it. And the 3 hours went by like that.
Yeah, it did. It did. And then, God bless you. You were nominated for an Academy Award for that. And I know that you were in Ottawa working on a play. Like you just kind of found out. You weren't even tuning in to find out if you were nominated. That must have freaked you out.
It did, because all these TV crews started to show up at the rehearsal hall. And they just barge in with the cameras over their shoulders. And the director said, everybody just go home, because we're not going to get anything done today.
Yeah, amazing. Aaron, I want to know, for you to work with someone like Graham, to work with Timothy Bottoms, like, you must be just learning, soaking this all in as you're going, I would think, to work with these people.
I really do. It's always a learning experience. And I've learned a lot more just doing than I did at film school. I went to New York University Film and Acting School, and I've learned way more just doing and working with people who are better than myself.
You're in the jailhouse now, son.
Yes, exactly. And now I'm in jail. So
they let you out for the interview.
Yeah. Now I'm going back. They're calling me.
I know. But, I think I'm taking your time. Yeah, go ahead.
No, keep going. But I just like working with Graham and working with Timothy. Again, these are people like with Timothy, the Last Picture Show, for example, or Paper Chase. These are movies I watched in film school.
Kid.
He keeps pushing that into us, doesn't he, Graham? Keeps telling us.
I was not born, and then with Graham, it was, so that was like, I studied his films. With Graham's movies like Die Hard, I remember being a little kid seeing Die Hard in the theater. Die Hard, was it number 3? So with a Vengeance, I believe.
Yeah, with a Vengeance.
And for another time, Graham has a good story about filming that alongside Batman.
God, yeah.
In New York, or you can tell it now. But just hearing these stories, learning the craft, seeing his approach, and learning all the different approaches. So every notable actor I've worked with on this film and in some other films, I've been like, oh, there's so many different approaches. None of them are what they taught in acting in film school. They're all what everyone takes to the craft and does on their own to make themselves unique.
Mm.
And
well, I'm not stingy with the information I learned over 50 years. So it's great to work with young guys like Aaron and watch them just blossom and come up and just go with the flow. Because if you're too tight with everything, then it just squashes it. The knowledge that us older guys have, I want to share it with people like Aaron, because I like him a lot.
No, and I think that's amazing. And you should open up like the Graham Greene Film School or something. What do you think?
I think people could learn a lot, and that's the other thing is, I love on any set we have, it's the no, I don't know what the language is here, so no a-holes allowed. In the on the set, everyone has to be kind. The atmosphere has to be kind, because we're all making art, we're making fun, we're making some sort of craft that we're passionate about. And Graham brought just that to the set. He brought an open-mindedness and a readiness to give and to be gracious in his gift of showing people, hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? And that lends itself, and that's the atmosphere I want to create, so that everyone's willing and open, whether it's Graham, Oscar nominee, or a PA who's just stepping on set for the first time. Everyone could have a good idea.
Absolutely. I think that's the most important thing. And Graham, like I said, so many roles that you've done over the years. I don't even know how you keep track of them all in your head. And, another one I spoke to you for was the Green Mile, one that's really stood out for me for sure in terms of your performance. Over the years, when you look back at all the stuff that you have done, is there one that really, really stands out for you that you just went, this was the epitome of my career?
I'll interrupt. It's easy. Tar.
Aside from Tar, because I agree, I think you should get another Oscar nomination for this. But when you look back,
I don't know. I loved every project that I ever did because I took them because people sounded interesting. I did some really bad films.
yeah, whatever.
Young guys that were thought they knew everything and they didn't know everything, and it was hard to work with people like that. Hard to work with actors like that who think they know everything and they don't. I don't. I'm just a baby in the business.
And I always, everyone who says that this is the process, this is how you do it, which is some of what they did at film school. This is the one way to do it. This is how you do it, or in an acting class. This is the, like Stella Adler school. This is the one way to do things.
Yeah.
And then they say this is the only way to do it. I know immediately that they're lying.
Yeah.
Because there is no one way to do this. It's everyone has their own process, and if you don't keep learning, then you're to do a tar pun, you're stuck.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so are we going to have a Tar 2 in the making?
That's the hope. We want everyone to go see it in Canada. It's going to be in some theaters and then on demand, and it's all built around for Halloween because we don't want we need fun right now where there's a pandemic. We need to be able to have fun and go to the movies and not take ourselves too seriously and have a throwback film which is what we went for, like little old school. Like, let's bring back the old school so we can just laugh and have some jumps and have fun in the movies and see Graham Greene at his best and so on. And that's what this is all about. And it's going to be available on.
Yeah, the best part about Tar was we laughed all the time. There was always something funny going on, and that's what I like. If I can't have fun, I don't want to go to work.
And I don't blame you.
Aaron just let it go. He says he didn't sort of yell at people about be quiet, shut up. That's what I like about this guy.
That's amazing. That's good to hear. That's so amazing, Graham. Like I said, I was so happy to see you in this, and I really truly hope that you're just going to continue giving us more fun roles, serious roles, whatever. It's always such a pleasure to see you on the screen or on the stage. I wish we could get back to that, but I could talk to you guys for another hour, but I'm going to let you go. So I really, really appreciate both of your time today. It was so much fun to talk to you both. And Aaron, best of luck with this movie. It's so much fun, and we'll get it out there for you. I really appreciate your time, guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I hope everyone, you can go to Tar the movie, or everyone just go to Apple, or we were the #1 trailer in Canada for like 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
So go to Apple and you can pre-order it, or if you feel comfortable going to a theater, do that, because all the information is Tar the movie. And I can't wait for people to just be able to escape for a couple hours and have fun.
For sure. Good stuff. Thank you so much, you guys. And just stay safe and healthy out there. And Graham, take care of your leg and just give us more stuff, okay?
Well, I'm about ready to retire. I don't know.
No, you can't do that. You're never going to be allowed. I can't let you do that. Okay, bye guys. Thank you. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.